What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the debut edition of After the Empire, the official post show of Coastal Empire Wrestling. I'm Mr. Cincinnati from the Wrestling Junkies podcast, and I'm joined by the podcast dad himself. Choops, how are you, my friend?
How are we doing? I feel like I haven't talked to you in a minute, but here we are, even though it was probably the other day. But yeah, time is a flat circle, and we learned that at Fire Hazard.
It certainly was an interesting mix of events that we saw. We had drama, we had intrigue, we had heartbreak, we had suspense, we had Hakeem Young doing just dastardly things. I mean,
we're not talking about him right now.
We have to.
We will get to him, but we don't have to talk to him right off the jump because Hakeem, you're starting to get a little mouthy. We are here to provide a platform, and now you've attacked us, saying your show, calling us marks. Relax, Hakeem. I'm just saying, you could kill me, and you probably could, and you probably will, but right now I'm going to be that keyboard warrior and go, hey, pump the brakes, man. We're trying to help you. I was on your side, and now look what you did.
Well, we kind of have to start with this because at the start of Fire Hazard, some footage was played from earlier in the day. Coastal Chaos champion Michael Walker getting ready for a championship defense later in the evening. And next thing we know, Hakeem Young has slammed his leg into a car door and repeated the same spiel. I'm destruction, I'm devastation, I'm chaos. Whatever the hell that means. He doesn't want to answer when we ask him what that means. But either way, he did have an impact on this event by taking away a Coastal Chaos championship match. And I mean, come on, the Coastal Chaos Championship, that's one of the workhorse championships in independent wrestling. And, you know, we were robbed of seeing Michael Walker go to work with that championship. So, yeah, Hakeem kind of sucks.
Look, he has made it very clear what he wants. The way he's going about it, I didn't hate at first. But now we're getting a little crazy. I don't love it. I don't love what he's doing. He is living up to the quote, though. He is destruction. He is devastation. And he's causing a lot of chaos right now. And Hakeem, you know, following those words, backing up your words is tough to do sometimes, but you're doing it. I will give you credit for that. But remember not to come after us. That's all I'm saying.
It's for me, it doesn't seem like he has a plan. He's just kind of doing it to do it. I don't think that there is. I
take everybody in front of him out. That's the plan.
Okay.
So far it's working.
Whatever. For now, he's got a lot of receipts coming, though, it seems like.
We'll have to wait and see, won't we?
Yeah, but before we talk about our first match tonight, make sure that you're giving Coastal Empire Wrestling a follow at CEW Savannah on X, Coastal Empire Wrestling on Instagram. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you want all of the monthly shows, and subscribe to the Wrestling Junkies podcast if you want the After the Empire and Coastal Countdown pre and post shows. Next one for Legends of Lowcountry coming up on August 31st. We'll be having our Coastal Countdown show in the coming days, uploaded to our YouTube channel as well. And again, make sure you're giving us a follow at Junkies Pod on X, at Wrestling Junkies Pod on Instagram, like us on Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. But without further ado, the night kicked off with Stunt Marshall taking on Chad Skywalker. Buddy, these two have been chirping at each other for weeks. I thought this was a perfect opener, great pacing, and very, very vocal crowd.
I think you said it very well right there. Great pacing. Started off a little bit of technical wrestling, and I don't think anybody saw that one coming. Just to start that off real quick, but we got to the fun aerial acrobatic stuff there a little bit later in the match. But yeah, a very, very well paced match. Crowd was hot. Hey, shout out to the crowd there. They were into everything. So. That always makes the show a lot better, and that goes out to everybody out there. If you go to a wrestling show, have some fun. Like, you're there to have fun, and that's what they did here. And when you have a match that goes as well as this does and provides that fun, lean into it. It's a lot of fun. Wrestling's fun, and this match was a great way to open the show, I thought.
Yeah, no, exactly. this was my first time seeing Stunt Marshall compete, and overwhelming advantage throughout the match. But even still, Skywalker has a lot of fight in him, and everybody was, kept all of us guessing at the result as to who might actually win. So I mean, that's the true hallmark of a good wrestling match. But Chad Skywalker, getting that surprise victory.
It was a great way to open. I will say that. Just fantastic way to open a very hot card that we saw, and a couple twists in that card a little bit later, but this was a very, very fun match.
Yeah, but not so much for Stunt Marshall. He went right to the bar after.
Yeah, look, you say that's a loss. I say that might be a little bit of a win as well.
That's fair. I am intrigued to see what comes next for these guys in Coastal Empire Wrestling. Again, when we're talking about championships, the Coastal Chaos Championship, I think that either one of those guys would have a great match with Michael Walker. And
Skywalker's got the momentum. Skywalker got the big win, so a little bit of momentum going into the next show.
I don't know. I was going to try to come up with a Skywalker Walker pun, but the math ain't mathing. Right,
don't embarrass yourself.
I wouldn't say I'm embarrassed.
This is the fuel that we give Hakeem Young when you try to have some fun puns. See what I did there?
You rhymed.
Yeah, it's a lot better than what you just tried to do.
Yeah, but you know what?
And that just came right off the dome, buddy.
Skywalker's in flight. Boo! There you go.
Goodbye your mugs.
Yeah, no, seriously. Yeah, Wrestling Junkies Pod creator-spring, something like that. Yeah,
something like that.
It'll be in the episode description. But next up, we had Damian Tangra taking on Hollywood Hunter James. Hunter, friend of the Wrestling Junkies podcast. Damian making his Coastal Empire Wrestling debut. He's originally from Bulgaria. It's nice to see the international talent wanting to spend time here in Coastal. It just makes for a fun atmosphere, especially when you can get some names from across the pond. And this was no different. And has just a very, very menacing presence about him. Very clear size advantage compared to Hunter James, but that crowd loves Hunter James.
You said it. We talked about this. This was going to be, kind of a David and Goliath kind of match, but man, that crowd got way behind Hunter James, and Hunter rode that to an impressive, what I thought. I don't know how you thought, but an impressive victory over a much bigger opponent that, if you just look at him in the ring, you're like, oh my God, Hunter James doesn't stand a chance.
Yeah,
but he does, and he did, and I think I picked him. So I want you, my friend, have some explaining to do.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I mean, I think that Hunter understands that that's our job, is to predict winners, and sometimes it's not going to be the people that are our friends that are on our show. That's okay. It's nothing personal whatsoever. I think that that well enough by now that it's our job to make the picks and see what happens. But Tangra, he certainly let the crowd get into his head. We were talking about a very vocal crowd during the opening match between Chad Skywalker and Stunt, and here we are with this crowd chirping and getting into Damian's head, and that allowed those openings for Hunter to try to see some momentum, and those short bursts certainly contributed to that overall end result, showing grit, determination, and gets that win, probably his biggest test in CEW to date.
Well, that's what happens. First time in front of this crowd, you don't know what to expect, and if you're coming in from across the pond, like you said, and it's a different atmosphere here. Here over in the States, and this was a hot crowd. Yeah, there are times where you can get a little distracted, and he's going to have to learn from this. And he's got the size, he's got the talent that, I think he'll learn from this. You just got to be a little bit more disciplined at times, man. It's the name of the game.
Yeah. I am very confident that he'll be back to CEW. Hunter James, this is certainly a notch in his belt. He's competed for the CEW World Championship as well as the Coastal Chaos Championship coming up short before, but I don't know, as we're going into the end of 2024 and into 25, I don't know, got a good feeling about Hunter James and what he's got coming up next.
Oh, now you have a good feeling about him. Now you have a good feeling. Okay. So he wins, and now you're on board. See, Hunter, remember, I was always on board. Just throwing it out there.
He got a big win. He got a big win on a big show. He's going to ride the momentum, is all that I'm saying. That's fine. What's the problem with that?
That's fine. That's okay.
You You got a cat?
I have 3 cats, yes. The debut of Joseph A. Cat. Say hello. Coastal,
Hi,
you
Joseph
guys
A.
don't
Cat.
know what you signed up for. Hey, Hakeem Young, don't say anything about my cat, or I will have Mr. Cincinnati come take care of business.
Seriously, what? Why are you putting me why are you putting me in the way in harm's way? Come on.
I'm not. Get to the next show. I'm going to let this cat out. I'll let you intro the next show. Match.
While my esteemed co-host wrangles his cat.
See how easy that was? See? Wrangles my cat. God. Get to the next match. Be a professional.
This next match, interesting, I think, is just the best way to sum it up. Young Mighty Joe taking on Icon Lee. Icon Lee also making his Coastal Empire Wrestling debut. The Shepherd of the Sheep looking for a fight. Young Mighty Joe also looking for a fight. He shows up, has a scribbled piece of paper, gives it to ring announcer Brett Wolverton, and all it says on it is fight. That's we don't know if it's a noun, a verb, what. It was just he fight. Look
at the adjective, pal. Oh, come on. Are you seriously not going to get the Kevin Nash NWO reference on me on this show? Everything? Oh man.
I don't know.
I know you don't. I know you don't. Look, it's fine. It's fine. Coastal, we might have to go 60-40 on the paycheck this week. Just a heads up. I'll take the 60 because this guy is not on his P's and Q's. Kevin Nash.
I can think of several reasons why it should not, why that inverse should be flipped. That I'm not going to say on camera.
Look at the adjective. Look at the adjective. Fight. No, this was a great fight.
Yeah.
With these guys coming in here with something to prove. Again, another debut where, maybe they didn't know what to expect from this environment, and it might have caught up with them. But Young Mighty Joe with a big win. It's again, I think the show, what we saw in these first couple matches was about building momentum, and we have had some momentum built. The next match, it's a whole another issue, but we have had some momentum built in these first couple matches, and this is exciting because I think with Michael Walker now, we don't know what's going on. There's a void, and could that void be filled by some of these guys in these early matches? I think so. And why not? Why not Young Mighty Joe? The dude can fight. Who's going to want to get in the ring with him? Hakeem. Who knows?
I'll push for that match. I'll lobby for that. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because I want.
I'll gladly. Yeah.
Feel something.
Is he capable of that?
Everybody's capable of feeling pain. Mick Foley.
Oh. All right. We have to talk about this one now.
No, do we?
This one. Yeah, this one kind of pisses us off, and our new tag team champions certainly figured out how to piss us off on our own show. So here we are. The tag team turmoil championships were on the line. Exotic Youth versus Probable Cause is what was advertised. Reverend Donald Jakes shows up, brings in Chief Reigns as a replacement to team with Sergeant Scratch in this title defense. That right there, you already had a feeling that something
fishy
was up here, and
get to it.
Everything was working against Exotic Youth in this match. I mean, down to the size disadvantage, but I mean, even Pep, who doesn't seem to be a fan of us, he doesn't want to be on our show. It looked great. Grit, determination. Like they were out to get these titles back, and even for the lumps they took, hell of a match. By Mosley and Pep, everybody involved, and they get the win. Hashtag and new. Everybody should be celebrating, but Podcast Dad, tell them what happened.
Well, we have 2 men walk out, Simon Sermon, Chip Schuyler, and they ambush. And then we get bullied into having another match after Exotic Youth just had a fantastic match and a grueling match to defend those titles again. And now we have new tag team champions again. And now there was no rematch for Exotic Youth. I think the question is, what's going on with the management there at Coastal Empire? And why do they have a vendetta against Exotic Youth? Look, are we saying this from a biased perspective? Maybe. But anybody can look at what just happened and go, the hell was that?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that was one of the shadiest things I've ever seen in pro wrestling. And we've been watching pro wrestling for 20 plus years now.
Yep.
This is ridiculous. And Simon Sermon and Chip, I can't even say it, Chip Schuyler coming on our show, ruining our feed. We had to go to a brand new streaming service. No.
Okay.
No.
I don't know. Daddy boy thing. I don't know.
It's weird. I don't like it. And I don't like them. And now they're our tag team champions. And at least there was a little bit of good at the end of the night. But this is just. What happened here? What happened here?
That collective is going to get theirs, man. And it's brewing. They may not see it coming. They may not like it. But, yeah, storms are coming.
It should. It should. Come on. Exotic Youth won the tag team champions. They are the tag team champions. That's how I see it. That's how I see it. Yeah. Even though Pep doesn't want to come on our show, and he's going to big time us. Pep, I'm still rooting for you, but come on our show. But this is ridiculous.
Exotic Youth are our tag team champions.
This is ridiculous. And something needs to be done, and I don't have faith that it will get done because it's not.
No.
Nothing's been done about it before. So Exotic Youth, I think you may have to take something into your own hands, and
it's a good thing that there's a return loading.
Yeah, it is. This is this.
All hands on deck for Exotic Youth in the
very near future. I don't want to get too fired up about it. It's a beautiful day.
Yeah. Well. Okay. Well, and here we are because we're about to get fired up again because we actually have to talk about his match now.
That's fine. Hey, it was a good match.
It was probably the best match of the night.
Good match. Go ahead.
All right. Hakeem Young, Rob Killjoy. This one's set up after the June show. Essentially, Hakeem Young destroys Rob Killjoy and Michael Walker with steel chairs. Why? He won't tell us. But Rob Killjoy is probably one of our favorites going right now. 20 plus years experience in the wrestling business. Yeah, Wrestling Ducky's Pond cast. That's
yes.
I like that whenever he's on. Super physical match. I mean, Bryce even called him a young Samoa Joe.
Bryce, come on, dial it back just a smidge, Bryce.
But he said he needs to dial back the emotions.
Bryce needs to dial it back a little bit. Bryce, I love you. And I know it seems like I don't sometimes, but I do. I love you. You have provided some great stuff for this podcast. Samoa Joe. I can see it. Don't make this man's head any bigger than it already is.
I'm sorry. That's professional wrestling. There are egos in pro wrestling.
He's not going to be able to fit through the entranceway now.
Seems like a head
problem. Side. So now you're on his side.
No, I'm not on his side. No, I'm. You know what? No, I'm not on his side. You know why I'm not on his side?
Pull it up.
We're talking about the nerds, instigators we call quote unquote podcasters. Are you two journalists or something? I defeat Rob Killjoy. You two haven't asked me a damn thing. I know you know already. Effing marks. Well, the last time that we tried to ask you questions on our show, you didn't want to answer them. So you either want to answer the questions or you don't. Which is it? Which is it? However you want to handle it, fine. But
doors open.
Always open. I think that everybody knows that, we have a pretty open door policy on our show. We invite you on so you can try to, explain your actions from this past June, and you didn't want to do it. And then you want to go and, put a couple brothers on blast on social media. Say it to our face. We're right here.
Come on back. Open door policy.
But anyway, so this match was not without controversy. Hakeem gets ready to use a chair. Ref intercepts it. Killjoy has this match won. Ref is getting a little too distracted, putting the chair away, which, if let's just say that this folder is this chair. You know what you do?
Hey, the ref is following the rules and maintaining the purity of the match. I'm not going to get mad at the ref for that. I'm sorry.
But you see how easily
make referees great again.
Okay, I want you to say one nice thing about Aubrey Edwards right now.
I like her on social media. She has some fun content.
I'll take it. Okay. So for Hakeem, this was his first win at CEW. It's a tainted win.
It's a big win, man. Look,
it's
all
a tainted win.
All feelings aside, let's be impartial.
Tainted.
This is a big win. And
I'm sorry. Impartial.
That's fine. That's fine. Look,
impartial.
Look,
impartial.
I'll be professional because some of us won't be. I'm not saying you. I'm not saying you. I'm just saying him. I will be professional because that's what I am. This is a huge win for Hakeem Young. First time in CEW. Big win. Big win. What's next? What's next?
Well, if Rob has his way, it'll be another match with Rob because he said
Hakeem's going to do that.
Rob is going to he's going to give Hakeem a reason to have that rematch. He just is. I mean, Rob Killjoy is a relatively even-keeled guy in the times that we've had interactions with him. That all goes out the window once the bell rings. So if you hit, and given how this match ended, we saw Hakeem just ambush Rob last month and Michael Walker, but I don't know. I think Hakeem's got a receipt coming.
Hey, at the end of the day, he got a big win. We'll see what's next for Hakeem Young. Hakeem, if you want to come back on the show, anytime. I won't say tainted win because a win is a win. A win is a win, and you got one. I'm excited to see what's next for you.
Yeah.
Just do it, a little bit more respectfully next time. How about that?
Tainted win. Anyway, on to our main event, CT Keys versus Randall Reno III. Before we get into the details of this match, shout out to Bryce Cannon once again for his work on commentary during this show. $1 will make you holler, honey boo boo child, is probably the line of the night from Mr. Cannon here. And man, he takes the commentary like a fish to water. Is there anything he can't do in wrestling?
I don't know, but you know what I did for this match? You would just call me Nostradamus because I predicted this win. Did I not?
You did.
Did I not? I said CT Keys was going to come in here and shock the world. That's exactly what he did.
Yes, he did.
Podcast Dad was right. Again. Everybody out there. So, Hakeem, put some respect on my name because I know what I'm talking about.
For someone that really wants to be done talking about Hakeem, you're certainly bringing him up a lot. Are you feeling a little? I mean, it's okay if you are. If you're in your feelings about what he said about us.
He's under my skin. Is that allowed? Is that allowed to be under my skin? Don't you get under my skin now?
It's my job to get under your skin.
Don't get under my skin.
I'm just making observations.
Did I go undefeated on this card? I think I did. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. Coastal waiting for that check in the mail.
I think they're waiting for ours. Anyway, Donald Jakes once again makes his presence felt in the main event. We had interference from Chip Schuyler, Simon Sermon, Sergeant Scratch, Chief Reigns. I mean, everybody that they could throw at CT Keys, and he just brushed it off.
Mm-hmm.
New CEW champion, congratulated by members of the roster. Send the fans home happy. They absolutely did that here. There's some dissension in this collective. There's some clips that went around social media after Fire Hazard of a little tension. The crown jewel of that collective is no longer there. That world title is gone. They may have the tag team turmoil championships, but even I've got a feeling that won't be for very long.
Shouldn't be, but we've already talked about that. Yeah, Randall Reno. It was time. Time. You lost. And we tried to get some answers. They didn't want to answer our questions.
They did
so
not.
Yes, there is some dissension because usually when everything's great, you answer the questions. Am I right, Mr. Cincinnati?
Yeah.
See, he answered my question.
Not that hard.
When everything's great, everything's fine. What I want to know is, did they go to Waffle House?
I don't really care if they did.
We will never know. But this was a big win for CT Keys, obviously.
Yes.
Debut, wins the championship. Again, like I predicted.
Not very many people do that.
I predicted, because I'm fantastic.
But that's the fourth time you've said that in the last minute and a half.
I don't care. I don't care. Cut me off then. Mute my mic. I don't care. I will go because I am Nostradamus. I predicted this. I win.
Podcastradamus?
Sure.
Podcast Dadstradamus, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say mix something with dad in there, but that's fine. Look, it's a new era. It's a new era in Coastal Empire.
Oh, you don't say.
This was the start of this. I think the theme of the night was momentum. A lot of momentum was built for a lot of guys on this show. And was there some controversy in a couple of these matches? Sure. Was there a lot of run-ins? Sure. But guess what? Guess what, Mr. Cincinnati?
Chicken butt.
No. God damn it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Because, man, Coastal's on fire. And I think
they really are.
I think Fire Hazard was a great name for this show because of everything that we saw happen. And I am pumped for the next show because there are a lot of questions that we're going to need answered.
Yes, Legends of Lowcountry coming up on August 31st. So it'll be about mid-September before that actually hits YouTube. We will be doing our official Coastal Countdown pre-show in the next few days for that as well. Make sure you're following us at Junkies Pod for all the updates, as well as CEW Savannah on X. Again, this is a promotion you do not want to turn away from. Monthly shows that are running, cheap tickets, cheap drinks. It's a great Saturday night if you're in Georgia. It's kind of hard not to have a good time at your local wrestling shows.
It is very hard to not have fun at wrestling. Hakeem. Sorry.
I thought we were supposed to be unbiased and just
Well, he called me a mark, so.
And he called me one too.
It's
better than neckbeard though,
A little bit.
Yeah. Anyway, that is going to do it for the debut edition of After the Empire. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. As always, make sure to subscribe at Junkies Pod. Be nice to each other. Have fun. Enjoy wrestling. Coastal Empire Wrestling will be back on August 31st, and we will have all of the action. We have the official pre- and post-show for all things Coastal Empire Wrestling, so make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. But for the podcast dad, Mr. Cincinnati, this has been After the Empire, and we'll talk to you guys soon.